You're a whole person. At least that's the African conception. But in his conception, that's what he said. That's what Plato said. Then what you say is, there's a part of me that's better than the other part of me. This thinking part is better than this other part. Okay? Then you say that the better part needs to either control or do away with that lesser part. So you got this thinking being.
This emotional part or what?
The thinking part is getting rid of the emotional part.
Right.
Okay? Trying to control that. And so then what he says is, that's the only way that you can have knowledge. Okay? So here if you have somebody who is dealing with feelings, okay, or who is defined in that way, then they're the lesser person. They're the bad person. And they should be controlled by the person who is just doing this thought thing. You see, that they've constructed. All right? So within the state that he constructed, the republic, then he was able to say, base it all on this concept of the object, to say that these better people who could understand the object, who were not spiritually into things, they were the people who should control things. Well, look what happens then when you get nations relating to each other or cultures relating to each other. You say the culture that accepts this objective way of looking at truth, that's the creation of the object. That culture should dominate, control those that don't have that concept. They should control the more spiritual culture because they're the ones that are more civilized, more scientific, more rational, and all of those things.
Now I'm going to push you on this. This is a very difficult topic.
Right.
I'm going to push you because we want to make sure that, first of all, I understand, and secondly, in the viewing audience, understand the creation of this object. Can I push this object? I'm still trying to get at that.
Okay. It's always better for me to go back to our experience. Okay. For us, what I call a phenomenal universe is important. And to break that down, all we mean is that experience is important. The way we experience things is important. In our knowing, whatever that is. Go back to the European conception, the creation of the object. You take out experience. There should be no experience in there at all. There should be no connection. Okay? Another thing. For us, we learn through our involvement in the universe, in life. That again is experience. Go to the creation of the object. The way the object is created is by detaching the self from everything.
The object is what?
The object is the thing that is left when you detach yourself from the universe.
All right.
Remember, the object is what is left, and it's a thing. When you detach yourself from the universe.
Okay.
Think about Descartes saying, I think, therefore I am. Meaning that there's nothing else that is important about a human being except this ability to somehow do this thing of rational thinking on this object. That's all that makes you a human being. That's what makes you important. For us, you can't separate thought and emotion. They're part of, their thought and feeling are necessarily linked. And from that, we get intuitive knowledge, which is very important for African people.
What do the
It's the best knowledge of all knowledge.
The emotional part and the quote rational.
I think what they give is they give us, for one thing, intuitive understanding of things. That is, for African people, like the ancients used to say, know thyself. What they meant by that is, we are like a microcosm of the universe.
That's right.
The universe exists in us. That's an African belief, okay? Therefore, if that's true, then by studying yourself, by knowing yourself, you come to know the universe. By coming to know the universe, you're coming to know yourself. That's why they said, know thyself, okay? If we accept the European concept, then you're left with a self with no relationship to the universe, no
No nature, nothing.
emotional involvement in the universe.
The objectification of
detached.
nature is what you end up doing.
Okay? But that was necessary to create that object. The important thing about the object was that it could be controlled.
To be controlled, that's right.
That's what Plato was getting
That's
at.
absolutely
and that's
right.
what
So
has
you
been
make something an
accepted
object so you can
since
control it.
that in order to know, in order to be able to have knowledge, you had to be independent. Okay, that's what the separateness did for you. And that's what the lack of feeling did for you. It gave you control over something. What you control is the object.